Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Noce. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And I feel like this is crazy. It's like you all crowded up toward the front of the room, actually, very eager. But that's exactly what we want, so thanks for doing that. If you're here in person, a warm welcome to you in particular. But if you are watching online, I want to thank you also for spending your time with us. Those live streams are going to continue as long as the hellscape out there does as well. But if you ever do feel like coming down here, we do have all of our tables and chairs back up in the room, and it's wonderful to have to navigate our way through a crowded space. And on stage, I always was looking at this stage through the last year and a half, thinking, how did we actually get everyone up there? But you know, this evening we got the shoehorns out, and they are now stuck there for the next 3 hours. The full Des Moines Big Band, which hasn't been here since last spring, but it's wonderful to have them back here tonight, beginning their season for these Wednesday nights at Noce. They will play 2 sets this evening. I believe they're focusing on the music of Thad Jones tonight. I hope you enjoy. Oh, hey, I forgot all the other stuff. There's email cards on your table. If you're not on our email list, you definitely should be, but if you're on the fence about that still, you can fill that out and get a 10% discount on your bill this evening. And if you enjoy the live streams, there's plenty of ways for you to send us money there too. It's great. All kinds of ways. Please join me in welcoming to the stage, under the direction of Dave Rezek, the Des Moines Big Band.
Thank you so much. Welcome to all of you as we open up. I'm not sure what to call this. It's either our 61st or 62nd season because our 61st did not happen. So we'll call it 61st, I guess, since we had a lost year there. But man, we're so excited to be here. We opened up the set tonight with a composition of Thad Jones's called 3 and 1. And you heard from John Morgan up there on the baritone saxophone. And myself on flugel. Thank you. We've got a big night of music planned for all of you. Hopefully you can stay for the whole thing because all the best music is on the second set. So just make sure that you stick around for that. We're going to play quite a few tunes here before we take a break in the middle, and we'll probably have just a short break just as a matter of housekeeping. Probably about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, and then we'll get going right away with the second set, so stick around for that. Wanted to go through a few things. First of all, just because we're so excited to be back, if everyone could please lift a glass. We just wanted to toast to big band music again in this wonderful establishment. It's been way, way, way too long. So welcome to all of you. Welcome the band back here, and here's to a phenomenal season with you guys. Cheers. All right. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the man whose music you're going to be listening to tonight. He's widely considered to be one of the best trumpeter, cornetist, composer, arrangers ever in jazz history. One of my all-time favorite musicians, players, and composers. Thad was born in Pontiac, Michigan, had a huge family. He had 9 other siblings. He had 2 brothers who also became famous jazz musicians, Hank on piano and Elvin on drums, his younger brother Elvin. And he was a self-taught trumpet player and kind of grew up playing with his family and some other friends in the neighborhood, and ended up playing in a group with his brother Hank and Sonny Stitt when he was 16. And before he could kind of get going with a professional career, ended up going into the Army and served in the Army bands during World War II. Once he got out of there, he really took off and forged his professional career and ended up in 1954 with the Count Basie Orchestra and really established a name for himself there, not only as a player, but mainly even as a composer and arranger with that group. He ended up playing and doing arranging and composing for Count Basie for 9 years. And most of his music that he really enjoyed writing was so original and deep and harmonically complex, rhythmically complex, that it really didn't fit in totally with the Count Basie sound. So after those 9 years, he ended up going off on his own and left in 1963, ended up going out to New York and set off on his own career there. After about 2 years, he had been playing a lot with his drummer, Mel Lewis, and they had been gathering for late-night jam sessions with some of the top studio musicians in New York. And they ended up forming a big band of their own entitled Thad Jones, Mel Lewis Big Band. That later became the Vanguard Jazz Orchestra of today, so one of the longest running big bands in the country there. That band started at that time with his compositions as well as others, and Mel Lewis had some stuff in there as well. They ended up with a regular spot at the Village Vanguard, and they lasted about 12 years there. He not only was he an amazing player, but he really did become more well-known for his compositions and arrangements. Many young musicians probably can name 10 or 15 of his compositions that they played over the years. Fewer young musicians know Thad as a trumpet player, and it's something that they really someone they really should hear. Charles Mingus actually called him the best player that he had ever heard in his lifetime. In 1978, suddenly he took off for Copenhagen and just left his musicians behind. It was a big mystery. And he ended up forming his own group out there, another band. and ended up teaching at the Royal Danish Conservatory and composed for the Danish Radio Big Band out there. And he was out there for quite some time. In the mid-'80s, around 1985, Count Basie called for, or they called on Thad to come back and lead the Count Basie Orchestra. So he did return to the U.S. at that time. I actually had the good fortune of seeing that band once in Kansas City. Unfortunately, he had to leave fairly soon thereafter for health reasons and died the following year of bone cancer. But his legend lives on in his music, and we're going to be playing a lot of that for you tonight. What you'll hear tonight is a mix of his compositions that did not get performed by the Count Basie Orchestra, as well as some that did. And we're later, in October, going to be doing a series of shows highlighting the music of the Count Basie Orchestra, and some of this music will be there as well as a lot of other charts that many others wrote for the Count Basie Orchestra. But for tonight, hope you enjoy the music of Thad Jones. This next one we're going to play for you is a waltz of his called "The Waltz You Swing for Me." One, three. That's Nick Ruckert on piano. Dr. Jim Romaine on soprano saxophone. All right, this next one we're going to do is one of those that I mentioned that was recorded or written for the Count Basie Orchestra and recorded with them, that Thad wrote. And you'll see, whereas some of the music we've done so far has been a little bit harmonically dense and maybe intense. This one has its moments like that, but you'll see how this one fits a little bit more with the Count Basie Orchestra style. This one is entitled The Elder. the elder. That was Dave Cobberdahl on trumpet. Nick Ruckert once again on piano. Next, we'd like to play just one of the most incredible ballads out there. This is another arrangement or composition of his that really just features his writing and no solos on this one. So it just highlights some of his harmonies and the way that he moves phrases. It's a beautiful ballad entitled To You. Just four. One, two, three, four. Sorry, one, two. All right, this next composition of Thad's is another one he wrote prior to joining the Count Basie Orchestra. And this is a tune he calls "This Bass Was Made for Walking." One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Eric Krieger on bass, Wayne Page on tenor saxophone, Paul Brightson on trombone. All right, this next one, we're going to pick things up quite a bit here and do a tune that was performed often by the Count Basie Orchestra while Thad was in that orchestra. This one's called Whirlybird. One, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wayne Page, once again. Wayne Page on tenor saxophone. How's everybody doing out there? Good. Thanks again for being here with us as we make our return to Noce. We wanted to thank Max and Maria Filippone and the whole staff here for everything that they do to make this an amazing place and make this a home for Iowa's jazz. It's really the center of jazz here in Iowa. This place was one of the very few places that did not shut down during the pandemic. That when everything hit really hard right before spring break of whatever year that was, 2020, really almost every venue shut down, or at least had to for a period of time while they figured out what was going to happen. What Noce did instead was put cameras everywhere in here and kind of revamped the whole place for small group and live streaming. And because of that, the place not only survived but thrived, and in good part thanks to all of you who support an establishment like this, which is so critical for us to have. So thank all of you for all that you do to keep this place up and running. So big round of applause to you guys and to all of you out there watching live stream. Wanted to mention that now that we're back, we are playing every single Wednesday, September through May, and which is a lot of weeks of music, and we'll do all kinds of different themes. We're going to be doing Thad Jones music for a few weeks here, and then, like as I said earlier, in October we're going to do some music of Count Basie. There'll be lots of other themes and special nights, including like swing music night with dancers coming out for that, and many other popular big band leaders' music, and some of today's writers as well throughout the course of the season. If you would like to stay abreast of what's happening with our group, you should head out to get onto the internets and type in DesMoinesBigBand.com. Get to our website, and you'll see a pop-up that will appear, and you can just put your email address in there, and we'll be sending out somewhat frequent emails on the happenings for the course of the season. One of the things that's really important to us is music education. Over half of the people you see in the band here are educators by profession, or they teach in the schools around the area from elementary all the way up through college. And more of us also doing private as well, private study. And what we've been doing over all these years, decades, is bringing in schools each week to perform during our intermission set. Now, we just got started coming back to Noce, and all of the schools are also trying to figure out what their year is going to be and how that's going to look like. Hopefully, we're going to have a lot of those bands that we've had returning. We've had, in the past, like some 30-something bands that have rotated into our intermission set throughout the course of the season. And hopefully this year won't be too much less than that. So I know some big bands, some schools during COVID experienced a little bit of number decrease, but I think almost all of them still have some big bands and some combos as well. On that note, next week will be our very first school represented, and that's going to be Valley High School. They're going to bring in a rhythm section. We're going to start with a combo, jazz combo for next week. And Dave, is that co-directed by you and Greg? And the combos and the bands there are co-directed by Dave Carberdall and Greg Simmons, who I think is still in the audience. Greg, you out there? Back at the bar. So if you can get back here next week, we'll be doing some more Thad Jones music, and you'll get a chance to hear the Valley rhythm section combo, which will be exciting. So stay tuned. If you get on that newsletter, you'll hear about the other schools that are going to be coming in throughout the course of the year. All right, with that, we're going to do some more music here. This next one we're going to do is a lot of fun. This is another Thad Jones original that he composed in the 1970s, and this is entitled Greetings and Salutations. Greetings and salutations. Oh my goodness. That's Jim Eckloff back here on the drums on that one. And Brian Schumacher up there on tenor saxophone. We're going to do something a little bit different, another one of Thad's originals. And before we do that, I just thought I would introduce you to all the members of the band so you know who all you're listening to. Some have been featured and some not yet. We'll start up in the front in the saxophone section. Up on the baritone saxophone, John Morgan. Wayne Page on tenor saxophone. Dr. Jim Romaine on lead alto. Dave Bowl on alto. And Brian Schumacher once again on tenor. In the trombone section on bass bone, Chad Thorson. John Lewis on trombone. Mr. Paul Brightson on lead bone. And Tom Rankin on trombone. Back here in the trumpet section, Dave Cobberdahl. Antonio Garza, Chris Strohmeyer, and we'll move over to the rhythm section. Over on piano, Nick Ruckert, Sean Veter on guitar, Eric Krieger back here on bass, and yeah. And a member that's been with the Des Moines Big Band for how many years?
Well, not counting the pandemic, this is 60.
For all 60 years right here. Mr. Jim Eckloff. Which is weird because you're like 49, right? You're like 49. That's kind of weird. And my name's Dave Rezek. I've had the pleasure of leading this band now for, this will be my 7th season, or 6th if we don't count the lost year. But I'm truly blessed to be working with such amazing musicians and teachers and colleagues and friends. It really is a special band, and it's a band that I grew up listening to. When I was in high school, a bunch of us would come down to Court Avenue and to Spaghetti Works, where the band was housed there for many, many years. And that's what we would do with our free time, because we didn't have cell phones and all that craziness. So we came down and listened to the Des Moines Big Band and learned about jazz, and it was really, really cool. With the help of this band being back running again, and things like Creative Music Studio, which is a year-round jazz school in West Des Moines, things like that offer opportunities for all of the young musicians to really dig in deep to the music and learn all about it, and perhaps someday play professionally as well. So we are super excited to have the schools back. All right, we are going to be doing a tune of Thad's right now called Rotomap. Four times a D, 2 solos, tenor for 2, bone for 2. Back, second and fourth. Here we go. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, up. Thank you. That was Wayne Page once again on tenor saxophone, and Paul Brightson on trombone. All right, we got a few more for you before we take a break. This next one, again, an original of Thad's, written all the way back in 1963, and this one is entitled Tiptoe. One, two, one, two, 3, 4. Tiptoe. That was Antonio Garza on trumpet back here. And Dave Bowl on alto saxophone. In the trombone section as well. All right, we're going to slow things down and do a tune that not too many people know Thad Jones wrote, because he did not. This is a special request we're doing this evening, a George Stone composition or arrangement of Moonlight in Vermont. And this goes out to the parents of Brian Schumacher, Rick and Pat, who are where? Straight out. We appreciate you guys coming tonight to listen to, admittedly, your son. Not so much us, but no, I'm sure you listen to us too. But man, we're so glad that you are here tonight, and glad that we can be presenting this music tonight. So we're going to do this special request for Rick and Pat. This is Moonlight in Vermont. Cymbal roll at the beginning. Give us 4 and then cymbal roll. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brian Schumacher. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we are going to play one last tune before we take a short break, and then hopefully you can all stick around for, as I mentioned, the best part of the show in the second half. This is a lot of fun to play. This was played by the Count Basie Orchestra, not written by Thad Jones, but played by him while he was in the band. It's actually a Sammy Nestico arrangement of a Gershwin tune called Strike Up the Band. Thanks, everybody, again for being here tonight. We're so excited to have you here and to have the big band back and playing every week. So it's a lot of fun for us. Strike Up the Band. Oh, don't forget to order some more drinks while you're on break here. We will be doing the same. Strike Up the Band. Brian Schumacher once again on tenor saxophone and your Des Moines Big Band. Thanks so much. Please stick around and we'll have more for you in about 20, 25 minutes.